All right, let's get back in. Powerhouse conversations. I don't know what happened, but let's get started. There we go. All right, so again, welcome to another episode of Powerhouse Conversations, brought to you by Dream Big Sports. We bring on entrepreneurs and sports brands and within the sports industry to have dope conversations about how you can innovate within sports. So we got a good one today. I know a lot of people have been asking about NFTs, cryptocurrency, things of that nature. So we're gonna have a good one with Treyous today. I'll let Treyous give some background. We still got your you want me to send an invite out to anybody? It's gonna be up.
Yeah, if you could send it to JT, it should be JT Visions.
JT Visions. Yep, got him. All right, so we'll get him to join. But yeah, so we're gonna have a great conversation today. ATL8 DAO. We'll go into what that means to the industry, how innovative they're being. So that this is something that I definitely am excited about. Hearing about, talking about, and we're gonna get, if you're in, make sure you send to a couple people. Let them hear about it. I know you got some athletes that definitely will be able to benefit from this conversation, because we want to take people from their brands and teaching them how to grow it. So it's a good conversation. So introduce yourself, Trey.
Right. Now, so I'm Treyous Jarrells, one of the co-founders at ATE. ATE is the company that's powering the DAO, the ATL8 DAO that Fred was just talking about. And so I'm one of the co-founders. I'm also the chief visionary officer. We're trying to get Jordan Tate on as well. He's the other co-founder, and he heads the digital side. So creating the NFTs, the branding you see on social media, all of that good stuff, that's Jordan. So that's myself.
Yeah,
we got Jordan on. You able to get him on, or?
I sent it to him, so I'm still waiting. Let's see.
If not, we can roll it if you can't get him on.
Yeah, we don't have him yet, but we'll keep it going until he gets in. But okay, just tell people how you and Jordan came up with the concept.
So I come from a sports background. I played football at Colorado State, and going into my senior year, I decided to walk away from the game and pursue entrepreneurship my senior year, which gave me a head start. A lot of people, they play out all 4 years in college and they don't really get that experience. When you talk about an athlete, you're an athlete first, student second. And for me, I was able to really be a student that last year, being able to stay on scholarship and go to class and actually, go to meetups with students and actually participate in group projects. So I come from a sports background. Jordan actually graduated from Colorado State as well. So I used to see Jordan in the back office. It's like where the Black students go and students of colors go. So I would see Jordan there, like doing graphic design back in college. And I asked him, like, "Hey man, what you doing?" And he was like, "Oh, I do graphics for the center." I was like, "Dang!" And he was on his entrepreneurship back then. So that inspired, motivated me. We stayed connected, and he's helped me out during my entrepreneurship. As far as like helping me with different ventures on the marketing side. So that's kind of how me and Jordan connected, initially. And then knowing his background and my background, we saw the NFT wave, and we saw it kind of gravitate towards sports. And, that was an opportunity for us to go ahead and implement what we've already been able to build, being that we already come from sports backgrounds and on the technical side. And so we came up with the brand ATE. And Jordan, I'll let you kind of introduce yourself. I was just kind of telling everybody, kind of how we connected, and kind of, what the brand is and ATE. But you kind of, tell them who you are and your story as far as what you bring to the brand.
Can you hear me all right?
Yeah, we hear you.
Cool. So I'm Jordan. So I've always been, I'm a visual person. So I do all the design, you know, more technical stuff like animations,
Mm-hmm.
some of the back end stuff. So me and Treyous, we formed business relationships a long time ago. You know, we've been close for a while, and with this whole NFT space and even the crypto space, you know, I've dabbled in that for a while too,
Mm-hmm.
and he knew that. So like when we're coming up with ideas and ways to get into this marketplace and you know, be revolutionary with it too, you know, create something that's long lasting and that's going to be something that's going to be there in the future.
Yep.
You know what I mean? A project that has stability and that can grow. And man, we just put our heads together, and one of the big projects we came about was the ATL8 DAO, you know, which is a professional basketball team that operates as a DAO, which is next level and is different, and it's really a disruptor for the market
Mm-hmm.
and just business entities in general.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that's kind of my background and how we linked up just from doing business, you know, me doing more the visual side of everything. And we just put our heads together and came up with the collective 8, and that's what we're doing now.
Gotcha. So I wanna take it step by step for people who don't know. So can you first explain in layman's terms for people who don't understand what an NFT is?
Right. So NFT, non-fungible token, right? It could be anything. You know, it could be a collectible. You know, it could be memorabilia. You know, you think of jerseys, you think of cars, you think of all those things. It's just you digitize it and you mint it on the blockchain. You know,
Yeah.
that's what makes it an NFT. You know, so it could be a static graphic, it could
Yeah.
be a motion graphic, it could be a picture. You know, it could be audio. It could be pretty much, you know, anything. You know, what the catch is, you know, being able to, you know, mint it on the blockchain.
Right.
And that's what, you know, solidifies it as an NFT. Jordan, did I miss anything?
No, that's it. The thing I would add is just like the whole reputation is what I was trying to say of NFTs. It's just, you know, it's really associated with art,
Mm-hmm.
and that is a thing. You know, it's tied to media in general. That's what NFT is tied to media, but the use of it could be, you know, sky's the limit. You know what I
Right.
mean? 'Cause
Right.
NFT is pretty much just a stamp. You know what I mean? It's
Yep.
just kind of like a receipt. You know,
Right.
so there's some cool collections. You know, there's cool art collections
Right.
and people in the art space who are talented for sure. You know what I mean? But as far as what an NFT is, man, it could be anything,
Yep.
pretty much.
And I
You
think
know what I
that's
mean? So,
I was gonna say I think that's the biggest thing with why it's like has the opportunity to do big things in sports because the utility behind it, right? So
Right.
you like you
mhm.
said, it's a stamp or it's just something that symbolizes something. But then the utility, sports gives the opportunity for athletes, brands, and things of that nature to be to the possibilities are endless, right? Because that ticket that you may buy from that team or you know that sports card you may buy from that player, it can have something. Hey, you get a dinner with said athlete or said owner or something of that nature, or like we talked about, we'll get into a little later, maybe voting rights. So and that leads me to like explain to the people what a DAO is, because that's the big project that you all have working on.
Right. So a DAO, decentralized autonomous organization, right? I like to just tell people it's your new day LLC. You know, that gives more control, you know, to the people, to the individuals that buy in. And for us, you know, it's taking that concept and incorporating it into sports, which takes it to a whole nother level. Because you think about traditional sports teams, you think about the governance, you think about who benefit. You know, the people that sit in the stands, you know, all they do, they buy their ticket, go to the game, they watch, you know, buy their food at the concession, may have a drink, and they go home. You know what I mean? The people that's benefiting, you know, are the ones that's at the top, that's in, you know, the box, you know what I mean, that got ownership in the team. So for us, it's being able to tap in, you know, with this concept, right, utilizing blockchain technology to be able to get an opportunity to people that wouldn't have that opportunity. You
Right.
talk about ownership of a team, right? So that's the unique thing about, you know, the DAO concept, and incorporating NFTs into that. Jordan, you want to piggyback off of that and add anything to that?
Yeah. So as far as that being like the NFT being a gateway to a DAO and having those voting rights and changing like the the traditional business entity where there's only a few people who actually benefit. Like you can already see in the space that people are coming into the space and still using that Web3 model and still
Hmm.
making it exclusive to everyday people. You
Right.
know what I mean? That's one of the things we're trying to change and that we feel passionate about. You know what I mean? We're doing things. What's going on, little girl? Hey, I'll wait for you, man.
My bad, my bad, my bad.
Now you good.
Hey, we all on the same page, man. We all got little girls, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the one difference is like we trying to take this Web3 and we really trying to make it accessible to everyday people and not just taking Web3 technology and giving those those rights and privileges to the same people who would be in like venture capitalist
Gotcha.
uh areas and culture. You know what I mean? The same
Yep.
groups of people who are already investing and have the money to control everything. We trying to switch that up a little bit.
Yep.
And then, a lot of projects are driven by the community. We
Hmm.
really trying to do that with our project because that's what gives it power. You know what I
Right.
mean? The collective of people and being able to run it and have that much support and people being together and experimenting together. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So that's one of the things that we're really trying to bring to the table too.
Gotcha.
Right.
So essentially, does that make them shareholders if you wanted to compare it to like the stock in a public company?
Right. Essentially, yeah, that's what the NFT. That's the representation of that NFT. Is that ownership, and then like you were saying, that the utility, you know what I mean, behind it gives you that ownership, gives you access to that voting token. It gives you access to the owners of the league. You know, you're
Hmm.
talking about you're an owner of the team. You know, it may be a person that knows nothing about basketball
Right.
in the structure of a pro basketball team, but you can sit down with the owners of the league, you know, that played in the NBA, you know, that ran the NBL Canada and now has their own league, you know, here in North America, the
Right.
third largest league in North America, the basketball league. You know, sitting down, that's priceless to be able to
Right.
sit down with them and ask them questions and them coach you on what moves that would be strategic for your team, you know what I mean, and to be able to survive, you know, year to year. So you know, those are some of the things that you know that NFT represents. That you know, when you think about traditional shareholder, you know,
Right.
you don't really get you. There's really no utility behind it, you know,
Right.
besides the fact that you know you own, you know, X amount of shares. You know
Right.
what I'm saying?
Right.
So
Right.
yeah, that's what we're bringing to the table.
Gotcha. So let's dive specifically into the ATL. Like, what was the thought process behind choosing Atlanta? And going this route.
Right, it's the culture, man.
Yep.
You know, Atlanta, the culture, you think of Atlanta, you think of trend setting, you know, in a lot of
Yep.
different ways, you know what I mean? Especially when you just think about entertainment. So
Yep.
we wanted to tap into the culture. You know, some people ask us why Atlanta. Atlanta's a tough, you know, market to tap into, but I feel like we the culture, you know, we could tap in.
Yep.
We could talk to anybody, you know what I mean? So for us, it was being able to tap into the culture and being able to take that model and replicate it and go to different states. So we're gonna start in Atlanta, but that's not we're ending that. You know what I mean? It's just the start. So we're looking at other markets as we speak. But we want to continue to just build out this to be able to show concept and then be able to roll it out, you know, to different cities across the U.S.
Gotcha. And so Atlanta's team they're not playing this year. They're going to start next year.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah. So we'll participate in the 2023 season. That'll be, you know, the first year as the DAO. I know that before it was the ATL 8 DAO, it was the Tampa. Well, I mean the Atlanta Empire.
Right.
Um,
Empire, yeah,
yeah. So I know they
yeah.
participated in, I believe, the 2019 season.
Hmm.
I think the 2020 got shut out. You know, obviously because of COVID, but
Right.
yeah, we transitioning and then we'll take it in the 2023 season. That'll be our inaugural.
Gotcha. And so how does it work? Like when you bring in a DAO for like let's just say when you go into a new market and they already have an established team, does does the current owner get X amount of like it's not shares of a company or how does that work?
Yeah, so it'll be on the same playing field as everybody else. You know,
Okay,
you'll have your DAO membership, you have your governance. You know what I mean?
gotcha.
So it's no that hierarchy. You know, it
It doesn't
shifts. You know
exist
what I mean?
anymore.
Yeah, it's really not there anymore. It's the collective. The collective gonna make so the ATL8 DAO, that name will change. That's temporary.
Gotcha.
When the communities form and we begin to vote on the various things of the team, we'll come up with a collective name. We'll come up with a collective logo. We'll come up with a collective colors, the head coach,
Right.
the players that's on the roster. You know,
Gotcha.
all that will be a collective decision that we'll make as a community. And then, you know, once we make that decision, we'll take it on chain, and then that'll be what it is.
Right. And so how is so when with that structure, the team is funded through the raise of the money that comes in through the blockchain, or how does that work?
Right. So some of the funding we'll use through the raise of that initial NFT. But the thing about it, the team's already acquired. We already acquired the team.
Gotcha.
So it'll be more so operating costs, marketing, you know what I mean, to continue to grow the brand. Because it's a business, right? We're building a business. We want to build a profitable business. You know, if the team's profitable, everybody wins. Everybody's profitable, right? So we'll take that, we'll put it in the brand and marketing, you know, bring on more strategic partners. You know, it'll go into the head coach, the players, you know, salaries for those guys as well. But for us, you know, it's not sustainable. In a lot of projects, they're relying on NFTs to be sustainable. We're taking another route and really utilizing the blockchain to be a sustainable model. So for us, traditional teams, they rely on ticket sales, they rely on jersey sales, sponsorships, things of that nature. The model that we're creating, we don't have to worry about any of that. We'll be stable, we'll be functional year to year, you know, solely off of being able to leverage, you know, our money and our fund on the blockchain to be able to create, you know, 40 to 70% APY. You know what I'm saying? So for us, that's what's even, you know, more exciting about what we're doing outside of, you know, community control and governance. Is being able to showcase a model, you know, for smaller leagues like the TBL, you know, for teams that could be sustainable, that can last 15, 20, 30 years, you know, like NBA teams. And that's where you create a real brand and foundation when you could create a model like that. So that's where the ATL DAO, it'll represent that as well. You know, it'll be that staple, that catalyst for the TBL to fuel it, and then be able to showcase that, to incorporate it into the other teams, you know, throughout the league.
Gotcha. So how can you know, we talked about like the community, the culture. How can people, you know, the average fan invest in something like this?
TZ, you want to answer that one?
Yeah. So the best thing you could do at the moment is to whitelist. You know what I mean? Whitelist and reserve your spot, because we're going with 5,888 of them. We already sold the first one. We put one out on auction in South Africa, and it was through the Moment Proof auction. So that one sold. That was the first one we sold, and that's the only one we put out. The rest of them, get on the whitelist and reserve your spot, because once they're gone, then it's just gone. You know what I mean? So that's the best way to reserve your spot. Join our Discord. You know, our Discord is super important. You know, hop in the Discord, because we'll even do some of the operations at first temporarily until we get our portal going, to where it's more visual and more engaging. So we'll be running a few things just as we get started. We'll run some things through the Discord, you know. So those two are the most important things if you want to get involved, and that's really how to get plugged in.
Right. Yeah. And the other thing I was going to add, so I think you mentioned it, but there is going to be a limited amount of spots. And how many did you say it was going to be?
5,888. That's the number. So right now there's 5,887.
Gotcha. Because you already sold one. Okay.
Yeah,
And is in that process, I know you said put it on a whitelist, and just for people's knowledge, like, is that you have to have? Is it going to be on Ethereum? You have to like, how is that going to be? You know?
Yeah. So the project will be built on Polygon,
Okay.
But as far as whitelisting, you don't like. There's no grind. There's nothing. You go to our website and you could sign up and whitelist just like that. You don't have to.
Gotcha.
You know, there's no grind involved, nothing like that. You can hop on, and it's Polygon. And another thing is like we're partnering with, people who are making it easier and more accessible for people who don't really have that Web3 knowledge. So
Right.
another feature that we're bringing is being able to get people onboarded through email.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that would be really good for, like you said, people who don't necessarily know what they're doing, or kind of like
Right.
maybe
mhm.
not as tech savvy, and they still have an opportunity to gain some ownership. So I think that's a definitely a
Yeah,
good thing.
Right.
Um,
Just to piggyback off of what Jordan was saying, you'll be able to purchase debit, credit card,
okay.
for those who aren't savvy in the space, or if you are savvy, you could pay with cryptocurrency as well. And then regardless of your status as far as a digital wallet, we could just email it. That's what we were talking about with the email, and then get you onboarded with a wallet. So just making it more as accessible as
Accessible.
possible. You know what I mean? Because knowing the space, a lot of these projects are not accessible, to a lot of people, especially if you're not savvy in the space. So being able to add that accessibility, you look at, other projects, to be able to get ownership, you're talking about 25,000, what average fan can afford
Right.
$25,000. So, you just look at what's going on, like Jordan was saying, man, it's like the same people at the table. And that's what we're coming in and just trying to disrupt it. You know what I mean? That's
Yep.
what Web3 is, right?
All right.
It's
Is
a
this right?
disruptor. So,
Right.
that
yeah,
we're doing just that. So,
Gotcha. And so we talked about the culture and everything, but as a lot of people are going to be skeptical of using certain like things like this. Like people that think everything's a scam. So how do you overcome that objection of people thinking things are everything's a scam, right? Especially on
right.
right?
Nah, man.
yeah,
So what we did, that's why we worked backwards. We built everything, we acquired the team. I mean, how much, you know what I mean? We already got the team,
Right.
so it's not like we need the community to get the team. We're gonna play regardless.
Right.
It's just being able to okay, come participate in something that's different. So for us, we work backwards. We built credible partnerships. We got partnership with the TBL, right?
Mhm.
That's a credible league.
Right.
We got a team in the league. We got we got strategic Netgear with Mural, which is a digital canvas. So you talk about Netgear, multi-million-dollar company. So
Right.
we're tied with a lot of strategic people. We got Adrian Swish. He's very strategic in the space. When you talk about influential NFT advisors in the space, we got people like NFT Nurse. I see she just jumped on. She's heavy in the space as far as educating. So just connecting with credible people, credible brands, adds more credibility to what we're doing. Because there's a lot of rug pulls, which is scams in the space. Despite how credible it looks, you know what I mean? It still can be, one of those things that a rug pull. So we like to be, out front, on
Mhm.
cameras when we have calls, because the space is everybody's avatared up. You don't know who you're
Yeah.
talking to,
Right.
So
yeah,
for us, we got a real world business. So
Right.
we can't hide behind the camera. You got to show your face and put a face to the name and to the brand
Yep.
and really stand behind it. So for us, it's get to know us, man. Talk to us.
Yep.
Jump in the Discord. The DMs. We're approachable. You know what I mean? Anybody can approach us, tap in, and be a part of history, man. That's what we're doing.
Yeah, no, I think that's dope, and I think that's us. Again, like that's the differentiator, right? So if you a lot of people, like you just said, people are going on to Web3, and they're hiding behind these avatars and things of that nature. So
Right.
like the fact that y'all are like y'all face are right there, y'all right out in front, and then especially like you said, you're getting into the black community, like that's something that's going to build that credibility, and then you're
Right.
going on the corporate side and you're making these partnerships, and then you're building it the
Right.
right way. So I definitely can say that you all are definitely building it the right way and doing it the right way. So I think
Appreciate
that's
that,
going to
Dre.
be big for y'all moving forward. My other question would be, can you, and we talked about utility, are there any plans already in place for anything that with ATL DAO, or do you have anything that they can look forward to?
Cheesy, want to take that one?
Just as far as like things to come with utility.
Yeah, things to come with utilities. Like can they expect to get with a membership?
Yeah. So as of right now, and we have a list too. Like if you want to go see the list, we have a list on our website too that goes into a little bit.
Okay.
But as of right now, like we still plan on adding more partnerships, more utility as we go on. But now you could expect, you get DAO access, you get vote token, you get to pretty much have a starter pack, to be part of the DAO and to start making decisions and to do things that you're a part of and making a difference. So that's first of all, that's what we have as far as utility, and then other things like streaming, different streaming access,
Yep.
stuff like that. What I mean, to really be engaged and plugged in. We're working on some Jersey stuff too, so there'll be things to come, as well. But we have a list of, I think it's a pretty decent list, but it has a cost. Like if you get access to something, there's a cost, and then everything that's free that comes with it too. So you could go in and check it out at 8.com. But we're still building, and we're just gonna keep building too.
Right. So just to piggyback off of what TZ was saying, when you talk about the DAO membership, which is that initial NFT that'll be associated with the DAO, that the main utility behind that is access to the team, right? Access to the team, exclusive access to that voting token. You get that live streaming, like TZ was saying. We got one individual that's in South Africa. She probably won't make a game, but being able to give her access to live stream.
Right.
So having that available for them. We'll do some raffles, with some worn jerseys signed from the players.
Mm-hmm.
You'll be able to get in a raffle to do that as well. And then we always looking to expand on it, expand on the utility. As things build out, we get the community together, and as a collective, we come up with more utility. We don't want to build it out too much,
Right.
or take away from, the whole DAO concept of community building. So we just want to build a foundation, something that we could get going with, and then bring on everybody. And we may go all the way right or left. We don't know where we're going to go when the community jumps in. But that's what we got for starters. When you talk about utility with that initial token.
Yeah. And so and the investment opportunity, right? Because it's limited, right? So once you have those once they go, right? The investment opportunity is if you want to sell, then the value of it goes up.
Right.
And then so on and so forth, because those initial people who purchase are the only ones. So as the league grows, the opportunity for the investment opportunity grows. That's correct.
Right.
Exactly.
And that's the benefit of being attached to a real business, right? A physical asset. You know what I mean? Because as the team grows in value, the league grows in value. Everything that's attached grows in value. So for us, it was you could have attached to an athlete or something of that nature, but being able to attach to a real world business, something that generating profits and adding value, we could add more value to it because that initial cost is just $300 for that DAO membership. So who knows where that's gonna go, as things begins to flow and the league grows, team grows. We don't know where that initial DAO membership would be at as far as value.
Right. Now that makes perfect sense. But I know we're coming up on our time. I don't want to take too much of you guys' time. I do want to give y'all some time at the end to be able to just pitch or tell everybody why they should make that investment.
Right. TZ, you want to take that one?
Oh man, yeah. Like, what I would say is that like this whole space is like at the moment it's like taboo. People it's not really regulated, and people really find it questionable. But to say like why you would want to be involved or why you would want to take advantage of this opportunity is that it is like we're in our beginning phases. This whole space is, you know what I mean? And this opportunity, I feel like not the general public does not understand the power of it. And I would just encourage you to take advantage of it
Right.
because the power of community in this space is crazy, especially when you understand the blockchain.
Right.
And the way this business entity is set up is way different than everything that you've seen.
Yeah.
You know, anything that you may feel as, you know, a common citizen, you know, any wealth, inequality, things that you feel on a daily basis,
Mm-hmm.
like this is a solution. You know what I mean? So it's something different and it's something positive when used correctly.
Right.
And I feel like we're doing it right,
Right.
as far as something different, something that everybody can benefit from and to have fun with at the same time.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because, you know, like if you're a sports fan, man, it's gonna be more fun to be engaged and to feel that what you did. You know what I mean? Like instead of just you know what I mean?
It's kind of bringing the best in both worlds, right? So you're taking the sports
Mhm.
fan piece of it, and then you're also taking the
Mhm.
business side of it. So you
Mhm.
get that you know everybody has a team that they're a fan of, right?
Right.
And then this gives you like you don't actually have ownership. So when you're cheering and doing all this other stuff,
Right.
like you feel that, right? But you don't actually, you know, you don't own the team. You say,
Right.
hey,
Yeah.
this is my team, but it's really not yours. But
Right.
now you're able
Mhm.
to bring this aspect in, and that now it's okay. No, this actually is
Right.
my team
Mhm.
now. So
Right.
it's that feeling of ownership, and now you actually have the ownership, and now you're taking that and putting it together. And then there's
Right.
actually a money making opportunity behind it. So
Right.
I think
Mhm.
it's once it reaches mass adoption, like the blockchain, like it's like in infancy stages right now. Once it
Yeah. Yeah.
go that mass adoption, I think that's going to be you know it's going to blow up. So like you said, like if you're
Yeah.
early adopters are the ones that that you know typically benefit the most. So
Right.
Exactly.
I think
Right.
that's going to be perfect for you
And,
guys.
and it's the future, man. I mean, outside of our project, you know, blockchain technology is the future. You talk about currency, you talk about fiat, everything's gonna go digital.
Mm-hmm.
So outside of our project, I mean, it's the future. You know, you should be looking into Web3 blockchain technology, anyways. You
Yep.
know, we're just making it like TZ was saying, making it more relatable. You know, fun. And when you think about mass adoption, it's sports, right? It's
Yep.
entertainment. So that's why we went this route. You know, it's being able to be relatable. You know, that's what people gravitate towards. So you know, I encourage people to get involved, whether it's our project or you know another project. Do your research. You know, like you were saying, make sure it's credible, but definitely dibble and dab. You know what I mean? Because it's the future. You want to know what a digital wallet is. You want to know what Ethereum is, Polygon, all
Yeah.
of these different, blockchains, and you want to know about the different exchanges, Moment, Coinbase,
Right.
you want to know this stuff because it's the future. This is how you're going to be able to get access to currencies that you're going to need to purchase
Right.
things in the new
Right.
world. You know what I mean? So, it's a new day, So again, man, I encourage everybody to just tap in the blockchain regardless, but obviously, we would love to have you a part of the community over here at ATL8 DAO. The things that we got planned, is innovative. It's like no other. And it's just the beginning, right? You'll have opportunities to get involved with a lot of other teams and leagues that we got in the pipeline for what we're doing. So, stay tuned. Like I say, tap into the Discord, go to 8.com. And just yeah, possibilities are endless. So
Yeah.
just stay tapped in. I mean, we don't know where we're headed, but we know we're headed somewhere big.
All right, man. I appreciate y'all coming on. We will definitely stay in touch. Make sure everyone follows ATL 8, and we'll see y'all next week. Thanks.
All right, brother. Fred, appreciate
Appreciate
your
you,
time,
man.
man.